Think of Flare as a combination of everything your fraternity or sorority could possibly need, all streamlined into one. So think of GroupMe, Facebook groups, Google Calendar, Photo Circle, attendance. Everything's all blended into one app. Imagine being able to see all of your events in either a list view like this or a calendar view like this. This way, everyone in the chapter can see what's going on without having a whole bunch of questions that you just check the calendar and it's all in one place. Within each one of your events, you could see all the details. So if you tap on one, you can see time, location, theme, description, polls, announcements, comments, replies, and a gallery of photos and videos. You could sort photos by likes, you could comment on photos, you could save them to your camera roll, and the quality of the photo retains. So it's not like GroupMe where it kills your quality so you can't use the photo anymore. You can also turn on an optional photo approval process, so all the photos would need to be approved by an admin before they appear in the album. You can also turn on the ticket feature, which gives each person in the event a unique ticket that changes every 2 seconds if you pay attention closely to the QR code. So you can't screenshot the ticket and send it to somebody else. It wouldn't work. So this would be the most secure way of doing invites for a social event, for example. You can just simply open the ticket scanner to scan people in as people walk in the door. You can also check somebody in manually if their phone died. So it makes accounting for people, even if they don't have their phone, very easy. You can also take attendance with either the ticket method or with a QR code method, where you can put a QR code on a big screen like this. So you can either print out the QR code or you can put it on a PowerPoint. People simply scan the code to check in for an event like chapter or a philanthropy event. Regardless of whether you use the ticket method or the QR code method, you can export a list with everyone who scanned in, and you can easily see who scanned in, what time they did, or whether they did at all, and it's all organized alphabetically by last name. So if there's not a timestamp next to somebody's name, it means they were absent to the event. You can also make an event a point opportunity, so when people do scan in for a certain event, they automatically get a point added to their chapter profile. So it just makes it makes tracking attendance over time a lot easier. You can also add certain events to your phone's calendar. So if you press add to calendar, you could choose a Google or an Apple calendar to sync your event with, so that event would also show up on your phone. You can also create group chats within the app, and group chats on Flare are a lot more secure than GroupMe for a number of reasons. So first of all, as an admin, you can remove any message or photo within the chat permanently, and it's completely gone. You can also clear all the messages within the chat without deleting the chat. So if you wanted to start fresh, you can easily do that. There's also screenshot alerts. So whenever someone takes a screenshot of your group chat, you can not only see who took the screenshot, but you can actually see a picture of the screenshot. So just in case somebody screenshots something that's not great, then as an admin, you would be able to see that right away. There's also the ability to disable screenshots entirely within a chat or an event. So you just go to the settings, you press the screenshots option, by default they're enabled, but if you select the disabled button and you try to screenshot, it's completely blank for the person trying to take the screenshot, but if you're an admin, you also get a picture of the screenshot. So it's the best of both worlds there. You can also pin a message to the very top of the chat. So anything that's really important that tends to get buried all the time, you can put at the very top so people can just see that right away. You can also react to messages, double tap to like a message, long press to send a reaction, and you can add a custom emoji reaction by choosing any emoji on your phone. You can also, of course, see how many likes or other reactions a message gets just by pressing on the reactions panel. You can swipe to the right to reply to messages. You can swipe to the left to see timestamps. And you can also suspend certain users from talking within the chat. So essentially puts people in timeout for a brief period of time. You can also search for messages very easily within the chat, And this allows you to search for either a keyword or somebody's name, and you can use the up and down arrows to jump between search results. So on GroupMe, it only allows you to search for 25 messages at a time. On Flare, you can search for 1,000 at a time. So I'd say it's a little bit easier to find things within Flare. If you press on where it says 6 of 9 at the bottom left-hand corner, you can see all of your search results in a list view and simply tap on a search result to jump to it. So it just makes finding important things within your chats a lot easier. If you press on the name of the chat, you can access the chat settings where you can add a chat description with clickable links. So links that just get buried all the time within your chats, you can now put in a central place for people to just simply check the description instead of asking the same question over and over again. You can also change the colors of the chat if you'd like. You can change your picture within your chat, your nickname. You can also turn on announcements mode, which makes it so that only admins can talk. Everyone else is put on mute, which is great for a separate chat just for announcements, so people can't spam the announcements chat. But what's really unique about Flare is that you can change the chat layout to look like a Facebook wall, which is a game changer for announcements because you get a layout that looks something like this. This is fantastic for announcements because you can fit a lot more information within each post, but the best part here is that people can comment underneath the post if they have a question about something. When you comment, you don't notify everyone in the chapter, you only notify people in the comment section, and with announcements mode on, only admins or exec members can make announcements, but everyone can comment below if they wanted to. You can also see who's seen the post. You can, of course, react to posts. You can edit the post. So basically everything you would expect within a Facebook group or a Facebook wall, you can do within this wall layout of your Flare chat. You can also pin certain chats to the top of your chats list. You can mute certain chats if you'd like. Everything you can do within GroupMe, you can do on Flare, but it's a lot faster and I'd say a lot more user-friendly as well. The way to get started is super easy. You'd simply just create a group on your profile for your chapter. And once you do that, you'd get a group page that's basically the home for everything within your chapter. Within your group page, you can enable a contact list and you can require people to share their contact information with each other if you press edit group and you select the require member info option. When you do that, members would be able to share not only their phone number, but their email, their birthday, and other details about themselves like their pledge class or what major they're in or what their hobbies are with other people within the chapter. This makes it really easy to find anyone else's information just by searching for their name, and within a press of a button you can now add this person to your contact list like this. So instead of having to text in the group chat a million times for people's contacts, especially for new members who just joined a chapter, they can just search up somebody's name and add them to their contacts with just a press of a button here. You can also text people right away from the app. You can call them, which opens up the call icon. You can email their email. You can DM them through the app and your DM actually shows up. It's not like GroupMe where half the time your DM just disappears. So on Flare, you won't have that issue. You can also search for people's name, or you can search for people's name by their phone number. So if somebody reaches out to you and they don't introduce themselves, then you could find who they are by just searching their number within the contact list. You can also see a list of upcoming birthdays, and you can tap on people's names to see what age they're turning on their birthday so you don't forget anyone's birthdays. And you can also save somebody's picture within the birthday list by just tapping on their picture, and you can use that for a social media birthday post if you'd like. You can also export a giant list with everybody's information in a PDF format. So if you need a quick roster, here's your roster. It shows you everyone's name in alphabetical order by last name, their phone number, their email, their birthday, additional details, all in a sheet like this. By default, only admins have access to the sheet, but you can open it up to all members if you'd like. You can also move people to alumni status. So when people graduate, you don't have to delete them entirely from the group. You can move them to alumni so they get their separate alumni chat, but they get removed from all the active stuff. So you can still stay in touch with them without having them be in all the active stuff after they graduate. You can also create shared photo albums within the app, which basically is Photo Circle streamlined within Flare, and you could just share photos without a ton of ads that Photo Circle would send to you or a million notifications that you might get from something like Photo Circle. So it's almost like iCloud shared albums blended within Flare. You can also share files as well, PDFs, Word docs, Excel sheets, and you can have a central place for all your files. Flare also has everything you could possibly need within a point system. So if you do points, this would be a game changer for your chapter. You can create point opportunities in one of two ways. So you can either make a point opportunity through events where people could just scan in for attendance, get their point right away, or you can make a custom point opportunity with a name, value, category, and description, and people can submit requests for those points with a photo for proof that they did the opportunity, as well as a reason for what they did. So as an admin, you can approve or deny that point request, and if you deny, you can add a reason for why you're denying that request. As an admin, you can also see all the members ranked by how many points they have within the chapter, and if you tap on somebody's name, you can see their point breakdown as well. As a regular member, you can easily see your own points, but you can't see everyone else's points. You can also sort all the points by category, so if you have different category requirements, it makes it really easy to see all the members ranked by how many points they have within that category and who's met those requirements and who hasn't. And you can even export a list to make it more easy to see who's met the requirements and who hasn't met those requirements. And if you need a certain number of points to go to a social event, for example, the people who don't have those points can have their ticket removed from the Flare event for that social event. So that's something that's been beneficial for other chapters as well. You can also connect with other chapters on campus, and this just makes it super easy to share philanthropy events or social events with other chapters within the community. You can also create guest lists for more private events, and this allows members to set you to set a limit for how many people each member in the chapter can add to the list, and they can't go over that limit. You can also export the list to see who added who if you'd like, and you can give everyone on a guest list a ticket that they can use to check in with as well. If you go onto your events tab, you press the plus button, send event invites, you can simply select certain events and you can share them with either other chapters if it's a big philanthropy event, or other guest lists for more private events, or individuals, and very easily you can share events with hundreds, if not thousands of people within seconds. So Flare, I'd like to think, has everything a sorority or fraternity would need, all streamlined into one app, whether it's your events, your calendar, group chats, announcements, contact lists, attendance, birthdays, photo sharing, and even invites. It's all blended into one. I'm hoping that Flare can help out your chapter. Thank you very much.